All right, 13 different books you have to read in the next year if you want to be successful. And there's one of these books that are more important than any other book. And I'll tell you more why in a second. But first book we're gonna start by is Winning by Tim Grover. So Tim, he's worked with a lot of, he's a coach and he's not a life coach. No offense to life coaches, he's more of like the one that gets it done under pressure that you couldn't even imagine. So he's worked with people like Kobe Bryant, for an example. There's one part of the book that I love, especially because one of his kids runs up to him. He has to travel with Kobe Bryant. And he says, "Dad, do you really have to go? Like, I would love to just spend time with you." And these are the moments that as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a father, you're in these situations where you have to make a decision, and this is where your character is shown. Are you making decisions based on short-term or long-term time frames? And I think there's a lot to learn from these people when it comes to decisions in general, but just the mindset of how winners think, because winners win. All right, the next one is The Millionaire Fastlane. So the reason why you want to read or listen to Millionaire Fastlane is not because it says millionaire in it, which is, yes, that's just the numbers of the impact. It's the indirect result of it's a byproduct of the impact you have in other people's lives. It's more so the fact that the Millionaire Fastlane talks about vehicles and assets, and not just stocks or mutual funds or these things, investments that are money trees. So when you build a business as a money tree, it's gonna keep printing money, and money's gonna grow on trees in ways that you've never thought possible, because you're grown up and you are fed these beliefs of like money don't grow on trees. You have to listen to Millionaire Fastlane or read it. Take a lot of notes. When I go for a walk or run and I listen to other books, I often stop and I take notes. So my phone is full of notes of like checklists and like ideas and my next moves and all these things. Atomic Habits is a must, because Atomic Habits, and it's a little bit dry. It's not easy to get through. Depending on your personality type, but the Atomic Habits, it changes you on a fundamental level. Your actual bio cells and your structure of how you think, and it redirects and reprograms your identity. When you change your identity and you raise your standards, you will change your actions, which will then produce the results that you want. You cannot have a life that you want if you don't change who you become. The reason you don't have the success you want is because you're not that person yet. So if you want to quit smoking or quit porn or quit this or that, it's not going to happen by you saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get rid of that." It's going to change by you changing who you are, right? Atomic Habits, super important. The Diary of a CEO. I love this one by Stephen Bartlett. I listen to Stephen's podcast a lot when I'm doing something, and it's kind of just there in the background. The Diary of a CEO, I thought it was going to be, I didn't have high expectations, because the title of it, like the 33 Laws of Business and Life, it kind of sounds like the Diary of a CEO. Like, I'm blogging about my life. It's way deeper than that. And it's principles that they're not just good for your mindset, but they're good for your marketing and how to do business as well, how to sell more, how to change your beliefs and other people's beliefs, because marketing is just changing beliefs. You have to read or listen to the Diary of a CEO. Next one is The Power of One More. I love Ed Mylett. We're working on getting Ed Mylett as a client now. And Ed Mylett is, just listen to any of his podcasts or read his book or listen to this one, The Power of One More. It's gonna, like, when Andrew Tate talks about the Matrix, he talks about the Matrix as a system. Ed Mylett talks about your brain as a matrix and a filter of, like, you have to just listen to it in order to understand it. Just trust me on this one. If you don't read any other books, read this one, The Power of One More. I was talking about your next moves in business and in life, because your decision, the quality of your life is based on the decisions you make, right? So if you want something better, something more, you have to ask bigger questions, different questions. And this one, your next 5 moves, Master the Art of Business Strategy by Patrick Bet-David, is amazing. I listened to this one a year ago when I planned my next year, and it changed how I did business, and it got me to 7 figures run rate as a business owner. So definitely recommend that one. David Goggins. This one, when I'm shoveling snow here in Finland, I'm listening to David Goggins, and I'm like, stop being a little bitch, like just get the snow done. And it's not just about motivation or inspiration. It's about setting a new lowest floor to your standards of like, oh, I want these things. So I want to raise my standards. But when you hear something like David's story, you hear what he's been through, you feel like a bitch of like, why don't I do more in life? And sometimes you just need a kick in your ass and be like, what are you doing? That little like wake up call. So you have to listen to Can Hurt Me. Who Not How. This is more business strategic. It's a book that helps you understand how to grow your business by not always learning how to do it, by not watching tutorials, but by becoming the CEO and not being half pregnant CEO, but like all in. I'm gonna be the CEO. Here's what we do: we play chess, we play checkers, we play it all, and we move the pieces so that it fits into the game of business on the marketplace. So this one is great. The Ultimate Sales Letter. This one is great for marketing, copywriting, and understanding what makes people buy. Buy Back Your Time. Dan Martell. This one changes how you look at outsourcing, because yes, we have Who Not How. Okay, that kind of is self-explanatory. Buy Back Your Time is not about outsourcing tasks. It's about buying back your time so you have freedom. How many times do you quit a job to start a business that then becomes another hamster wheel? You become a slave to your business, and then a lot of times says entrepreneurs don't grow into pain. So when you hit the pain line, you retract instead of building it in a way that is actually scalable. And he talks about hand grenades. A lot of entrepreneurs self-sabotage. You just have to read this book. You have to listen to it. Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. It's been a while now since Russell wrote any new. Actually, he launched Linchpin, a new book. But Expert Secrets is still his best book in my opinion, because it helps you build the best business that you can, which is the personal brand that then funds and drives traffic and builds the community around you, which is why people buy from you. It's not based on just the offer. It's sort of like, can I trust the person? And you want to build your personal brand so you can attract the right people, because now you don't have just customers, you have fans. You have raving fans that then promote you, and you have a community that you can hang out with, which what we're doing, by the way, 2024 in February. We're doing our first event in Helsinki. I want to meet people like you. I want to meet people who are like-minded, and we want to hang out and talk business, mastermind together. And it's all because of what I've learned in Expert Secrets. Helps you with your sales message and all that. Next one, we have Never Finished. So another one by David Goggins. This one is such a mind shift, because Can't Hurt Me was his first book. And I don't know all the data, but it probably made him a multi-millionaire, because I don't think he was a millionaire before that, at least not a liquid. But with Never Finished, he talks about what the change was, what his life was like after he quote unquote made it. And Never Finished was how to create self-inflicted pain in order to grow. And a lot of times the pain that you're going through, we don't see it yet, but it's actually helping you become the person that you need to be in order to have what you want to have. And David Goggins looks for that pain in order to grow so that he can handle the things that you cannot control. And so it's a nice little reset. When you're going into a new year, when you're going into a new venture, it's like resetting into like, it doesn't matter what success we had, and it doesn't matter what failure we had, right? If people praise you, good, neutralize it. If people criticize you, good, take the feedback, learn from it, neutralize it, and every single day you start from a clean slate. Finally, we have the one that I'm listening to right now on Audible. Not sponsored, by the way. We could do a sponsored post with Audible. Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And Patrick Bet-David's books has always been great. This one, it's different because a lot of times you need to find the drive and the hunger from your enemies, right? And it's not always like your why in terms of what you want, which is positive outcomes. It's running from or fighting against negative outcomes, entities, organizations, outcomes, and people. So who are you trying to prove wrong? It's okay to use that as fuel, right? The people who in high school, they told you you're never going to be anything. The teacher who said you have ADHD, you can't do anything. And it's like finding these and writing down the enemies and knowing who you're fighting against. Maybe it's the matrix, maybe it's the machine, maybe it's society, maybe it's your parents, your friends, your whoever. Maybe it's your ex-girlfriend who left you because you were a nobody, and now you're proving her wrong, and now you're proving yourself right in the process. And it's like, you find your enemies and you choose your enemies wisely. But the book goes way deeper than that. I thought when I read it, the title was like, it's probably just like picking your enemies and that's it. But there's like an emotional and logical way to grow a business. And so if you have the vision and the dream, then you have the tracker and the financial, like logical. So the emotional side is like, I want to do all these things. The logical side is, here's the plan to do that. And it's not a traditional business plan. So Choosing Your Enemies Wisely by Patrick Bet-David helps you with both those things to balance and pair them together so you have a path forward to be successful. Now, I said I was going to do one bonus, and that's kind of the bonus book, but I highly recommend that the book that is gonna change your, and this is my belief, the book that's gonna change your life the most is the one that you write on a clean paper. Because you take something from each book, none of them are gonna be like 100% perfect. A lot of them are gonna be 10 out of 10s, but when you write down how it applies to your life, you create every single day from a blank piece of paper, you create your goals, your targets, your dreams, your plan to move forward. And every day you visit it and you write down what you wanna do for the day, what you can do better. When you analyze your year, you don't just look forward what you wanna do, you analyze what you've already done this year. And so writing a book, quote unquote, writing a book, writing down your thoughts. If I go for a run, like I said, I take notes all the time. Before a sales call, I take notes, I'm prepared. It's more about being present and not scrolling through and getting your dopamine and being distracted and not having everyone else tell you what to do. This, my friend, is gonna help you be successful. So hopefully this helps. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if you're watching this in the end of this year. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.